In this video tutorial, we are going to do an overview of the self-service web portal for Trackit. Self-service web comes with Trackit Web, which comes with the base Trackit application. So if you buy Trackit, any amount of users, you automatically get Trackit, the Trackit Web piece, and also the Trackit self-service web portal. So we're going to take a look at self-service today. Right now this is the Windows Technician client. I'm just going to show you in here how you go in and enable users to access the self-service portal. So you go to Tools Administration Console, you look under Lookup Tables, under Administration, Users. Here's a list of users that you either can import from your Active Directory or you can add them manually right here. So we're going to go in and take a look at one of the users' accounts. You'll notice there's a Web Access tab. The Web Access tab has a place for the user ID and password that you want the user to use for self-service. You can check this checkbox here to give them access to self-service web. If you'd like, you can also check this box here and then select a Windows account from your Active Directory, and then that will allow them to authenticate without even typing a user ID and password. That's another option. You can also set it so the user cannot change their password ever, even through the interface that we provide in the self-service portal. It will restrict that. And then you can also set it to make them change their password at next login. So if you ever want to create a bunch of users with generic passwords and then tell them to reset them the next time they log in, you can do that as well. So that's the basics of creating a user account for self-service. I just want to show you a couple other self-service configuration options as well. So under Configuration, Administration, Self-Service, you can see that you can have an option here to auto-create users. So for example, if a user tries to connect to the self-service site right now and they don't have an account already, it will not allow them to get in at all. You can actually change this and allow them to log in and create their own account on the fly. This is useful in some environments. Most IT administrators want to pre-configure their users, but we have this option if you have the type of environment where you want people to be able to create their own. You can also turn on and off a few different features here, like access to allow users to complete or close their own work orders, attach files, or view attachments and solutions. And you can also turn on whether or not you want to let them be able to run an audit of their own workstation from within the self-service module. So with that, we'll go ahead and open up the self-service web portal. We're going to log in as this demo user. And actually, one quick thing I want to show you on that login screen, you'll notice it says login using your Windows account. If you enable that AD auto login that I showed you in the configuration screen, the user can click this and they'll automatically log in, and you can just publish that link on your intranet or however else you're going to distribute the link to your self-service site. You could use that link instead of the main link. But for now, we're just going to log in using a user ID, log in as demo user. You'll see the first screen you get to here, large icons with descriptions of what each thing is about. It's meant to be very easy to use for a first-time user. And so you'll see you have Search Solutions database. You can add a new work order. You can view all your existing work orders of ones that you've submitted previously. If you are assigned as an approver on change requests, you will see this View Requests for Change icon. If you're not an approver in Trackit for change requests at your organization, you won't see this icon. You would just skip right to the Manage Profile. So those are the main areas of self-service there. You also have the option on the left-hand side to get to some of those areas as well. The one exception is My Assets, which is not accessed as frequently, but users can click on that if they like, and they can view information about their workstation that's been picked up from the Trackit audit. And here's that audit button that we mentioned a minute ago where you can configure to let users use that or not. If I click on this, the Trackit server will connect to the machine and do a quick audit of it and pull the data back in. So you can do that to force an update of the computer information in Trackit. So back to home here brings you back to the main screen. You can search for solutions in the Trackit Solutions database. So you could just go in here, type something, click search, and it'll come back and show you any solutions that are in the solution database that match that search term. You can print those. You have the preview pane that allows you to preview it here. If we go back to home, you can see I have the option to add a new work order. So here I can enter a new work order. Say I'm an end user and I'm having a problem. Here I can just go ahead and enter this in. And you can pick your priority and your type and your subtype and that type of information as well. These fields are customizable in a configuration file, an XML file, in the web installation. And we have technical articles on that on our online knowledge base on our website. And it's not too difficult to do. There's some settings that show the number of fields and what order they're in and if they're visible or not. So you can customize that if you like. Some companies like to have summary, phone number, and note, and that's it. But you may want to have more fields. It just depends on what you want your users to see when they're filling out work orders. So I can hit submit work order. That's going to save it into the system. Then you'll notice once I have a saved work order, this is what the view looks like. This is a brand new one I just edited, so it just shows this message about it being added successfully. If I go to my work orders, you will see that there is the option here where you could see all previous work orders that have been entered into your system. And if I click on any of those, then I have the option to, just like we saw before, I can add attachments, I can cancel the work order, I can print it, or I can add additional notes to the work order. And the fields that you see on this screen and the order that they are listed in are also configurable in our configuration files that I was referring to earlier. And so that is an option for you. If that is something that you'd like to do, you can change which fields display on this screen. So in this particular user is also a change request approver. And so if I click on that, you will see I have change requests that are pending my approval. If I click on that, I can read a little bit about the change request and what it involves. This is purchasing a new laptop for a salesperson. It's pending my approval. And once I approve it, it would go on to Ashley and Robert to be approved after that. So I can click the Request More Info button and type a comment if I'd like to request more information about that change request, or I can just approve it, or I can reject it. I can also click View Details, and that'll take me to the work order, back over in the work order screen, which will show me what information I would need to see to learn more about that change request. A few different tabs here. I can see my open work orders, my closed work orders, and then of course all my work orders. And I can also add a new work order from here as well. Back to the home screen, you'll see the last item here, Manage My Profile. That shows me information about my user account in Trackit. And I have the option right now I can change my own password. You noticed in the configuration options I showed you earlier that this can be disabled so that the user cannot change their own password. Other configurable options in the self-service module, you can, in a configuration file, change out the company logo at the top left. That gives you a little bit of customization to make the self-service page look a little more customized for your company. You'll also see the announcements panel on the right. Technicians can enter announcements in the technician client. I can flip back over there and show you real quickly. So here's the announcements panel on the home page. Technicians can enter announcements into there on the Windows version of the application, and then those will appear here for all the users when they're looking at their self-service screen. And they'll show up with a little green new indicator here if it's a brand new announcement that hasn't been viewed before. Then at the top you see the message. This message is customized per company and per user. So my name of my test user here is Demo User. So it says Demo User, welcome to the Numara Software Product Development Self-Service Center. And that's because the test license I'm using here to do my demo for you today is a license registered to the Numara Software Product Development Group. And so this would show your organization name as well as your username when you log into this screen. So let's see here. Let's go back into work orders just for one moment, and let's show you. I mentioned a moment ago you can add more notes, you can add attachments. I didn't really go over this cancel work order too much. This is an option that allows users, if they have decided that the problem they reported is no longer a problem and they don't need IT's help anymore, they can go ahead and click on that and it'll ask for a reason, and they can go ahead and close the work order out and say it's no longer a problem. And you can click OK, and that'll go ahead and close out the work order. And then that way it is not in the open queue anymore and doesn't require IT's attention. And that option is also configurable in the administration console I showed you earlier. You can turn off the ability to allow end users to do that. So this has been a brief overview of the Trackit self-service web portal, and I hope this overview has been helpful to you.